This is my reverse camera system. I just hit this button right here. It turns on the screen, and then I have a backup camera in my 2007 Mazda Miata. And as you can see, if I were to click the unlock button on the Mini Cooper key, it is pretty responsive. So you can see unlock, the lights turn on, lock, the lights turn off. So it works really well. And the nice part is there's only one cable in this whole thing. That cable is a power cable that I ran under the passenger footwell, and then I have it hooked up to this button. You just tap that button and it turns on the screen. The screen is wirelessly connected to my backup camera. As you can see, there are three components to it. There's the camera here, which swivels, and there's a button on the side that's to just pair it initially. Then there's a solar panel, which is plugged into the battery of the camera, and this solar panel makes sure that it's charged all the time. It does have its own battery, so of course it works at night, even in the dark. It's super easy to set up. There's no wires running between this and the screen, nothing you have to put in the car, and it took me less than 15 minutes to set it all up. Let me show you. This is Ben from ShouldIGetIt.com, and this is the CargoPlay SunGo 2 wireless backup camera system. Now apparently this is supposed to take only 5 minutes to install, so we're going to be testing that. For reference, it is 8:04 a.m. right now, so hopefully we'll be done by 8:15 after I unbox all this. In the box we have a couple of things laid out. So there's a warranty for 1.5 years it looks like. There's a user manual. I'm going to try and do it without the user manual. We'll see how that goes. This seems to be the screen. So we have probably what looks like a 5-inch display here relative to an iPhone 13 Pro. Here's the size. So iPhone 13 Pro is about 6.1 inches. This screen seems a little bit smaller. And then we have buttons on the side here, so I'm assuming that's turned on and control backup camera or front camera. And it's got a little antenna here. It's got a mount and then a cable here. So that is the screen. Then we have the backup camera. So this looks like it would go just like that. So you have the backup camera here. This is the battery portion, and then you can control the angle of the camera. So we would set it however we want. And it looks like that's pretty easy to change and pretty stable. That's nice. This is all one piece. You can hear it feels solid, and that looks good. And then we have the solar panel. So right here you have a solar panel. This plugs into the side of the camera. So we have a USB plug here. We have USB on the side of the camera. I take it, whoop, yep, and those two will go together. And then you have solar power to keep the camera connected, and it looks like it would go like that, blocking the camera. So maybe the other way, but we'll figure this out. And then we have a box of accessories, and I'm assuming that this is going to be a suction mount. Yep, suction mount for the screen. And then we have a USB cable to charge up the camera, and then we have a power cable to charge the screen or leave the screen powered in the car. So let's get started with the install. For time reference, 8:08 a.m. Let's get started. 8:11 a.m. 3 minutes to get the camera on. I need to cut and make a correction here because I did install it as fast as I could, but I did it in the wrong order. As you can see, this bracket is covering the top of the plate, and to make it look much better, I should do it the proper way. And that would be to put this bracket behind the actual license plate. You may have been watching me do that and thinking, why wouldn't you just put it behind? And that's because I did it wrong. So as you can see, what we're gonna do now is with the camera still on, I'm going to simply place this black metal bracket behind my license plate, and then we will reinstall. So you can set it up like so. Just align the holes of the bracket here, and we'll put the first one in. There we are, and I'm just gonna hand tighten it this way, and then I'll put the second screw, and now you can see this is a much cleaner install. And there we go. Now you can see that is a much cleaner install. We have the reverse camera basically looking like it's floating in front of the plate, and that is due to that metal bracket. Continuing on. Now we're in the car, and as you can see, I have a lot going on here. I have a car mount phone holder, I have a dash cam here, so I really don't know where I'm gonna place this screen. I could suction it to my windshield, maybe up here. It's actually not too big, and I don't think it'd be in the way, but also I might look at just having it sit in the glove box, and then when I park, I'll pull it out. We'll figure that out in a moment, but let's see if we can just set it up for now. So we're gonna take this suction mount, and it just slides up right there, so that seems pretty easy. We can loosen it and flip this over, and then I'm going to suction it just in a spot where you guys can see. to my windshield, and then I'll move it around later, and I'll show you my final setup when I do a review of this system. So let's say that's going to go about there. That's very much in the way, but of course I'm going to push that down later on, and then we have a power adapter for it. And as you can see, this is using a regular power cable for cars, but I have a dash cam plugged in. So I'm going to need to get either some sort of splitter and have two of these plugged in, or I'm going to need to get a different cable to power my dash cam, as it can be run just off of USB. So for now, we're going to undo this cable here, and so we'll plug that guy in. We'll take this, and it looks like it plugs in only one way, which is nice. There's even a little arrow there. And now we can turn the car on and give it power. There we go. You might be able to see on the screen, it says CargoPlay. So now the screen is set up, the camera is set up, and it is 8:16 a.m. So it really does take only about 10 minutes to set this up, and that's with filming. Keep that in mind. So if you were doing this on your own, you could do it in 5 minutes. The next step seems like it's going to be to turn on the camera on the car, and then hopefully it'll either auto pair, or I'll actually look at the user manual and see how to set it up, and we'll take a look at the quality. I clicked the button on the side of the camera on the outside of the car, and now we're going to see if we can go into pairing mode here. Camera 1. And look at that. It's already paired. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'll turn it towards you. There is the backup camera, and it is live. So it really was that easy. It is totally wireless. The only wire is this power cable you have here, but in terms of connecting, let me move this guy, connecting the two cameras, that was incredibly quick. So let me move out to the back of the car, and you can see in real time, I still have my microphone on me, but there I am. There's the backup camera looking at me, and I am pretty impressed with how easy the system is to use so far. Let's take one more second to go through the menu here and see what we can control. So we can change our guideline. We can turn that off if we want. So again, we hit the menu button, which is in the middle, select, and then we can turn the guidelines on. You can see that there. Of course, it doesn't change with the moving of the steering wheel like in most cars, because it's not connected to the car in that way. And then we can also change this control here, so we can make the image upside down. So if we were to mount it on the bottom two of the license plate, we could flip the camera. So that's neat. You do have the option to put it on the bottom. Oh, and then we mirrored the image sideways. So let's do normal. And let's go back to right side up. There we go. And then we also have brightness control. So we can change brightness on the screen. The image can get pretty bright, that's nice. And then we can pair, and of course we can pair camera 2. And so camera 2 can be added on the front. I don't have a front license plate on this car, so I'm not going to put a front camera, but overall this is a very easy setup. The next thing is to do a wire tuck with these cables. And again, the one thing is I do wish this was battery powered. If it was, then I'd be able to keep it in the glove box, and then I could just pull it out when I'm parking. That is the CargoPlay 2 backup and reverse camera system. It is about $200 on Amazon. It supports 2 cameras. It's got 720p video. It comes with the screen and a solar charger for one of the cameras, possibly the other one. I haven't opened the second box. You can see actually, okay, so the screen went off here, and we can just tap, I'm assuming, the middle button, and it comes back on. We could probably change the timing that it stays on. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you have this and you want to leave your review, leave it as a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.